just just thought, just thought, taken from a book, The Cultural Unity of Black Africans, Domains of Matriarchy, of Patriarchy and Classical Antiquity, Chinka Ante Ante Diop. Germania. To Caesar and Tacitus, we owe the few pieces of information existing about Germania in Gaul. According to these accounts, the Germanians were still semi-nomadic, meaning, not stationary, but move with just a little bit, move about just a little bit, and struggle with all their might against definite settling down. They remain conscious of their pastoral background, knowingly refuse to devote themselves to agriculture. You get the word culture from agriculture. The rain falls from the sky, hits the ground, produces a crop. Must be a god somewhere. Argarian thought. I just inserted that in there. I'm going with the written piece of literature by Chinka Anta Diop. In accordance with nomadic customs, cremation was enforced. Polygamy was generally among the barbarians, according to Tacitus. Among the Germans, all of those who had the means to do so, that is to say, the aristocracy, practice it. Men of wealth, considered nobility, whatever you want to put to that, practice it. They waged the same type of devastating warfare as the Romans. They waged the same type of devastating warfare as the Romans, according to Fustel. The latter did not confine themselves to attacking men, but also attacked the surrounding country, the harvest, etc. After their passage, the fields were transformed into uncultivated wastes. A wilderness. Waste. It was the same among the Germans. Do what the Romans do, huh? Okay. They never practiced agriculture and lived principally on milk and cheese and meat. No one has a portion of land of his own or of Pacific boundaries. But each year, the magistrates and their chiefs assigned to different groupings and to their families who gather together a particular piece of land in a region which is judged to be suitable, and if the following year they force them to move elsewhere. For this, several reasons are given. They are afraid that the force and attraction of habit will make them abandon their taste for arms, for that of agriculture. The highest honor for a city is association with citizen, and citizen is associated with civilization, and civilization is associated with being civil. The highest honor for a city is for this to be surrounded by devastated frontiers in wide open spaces. They believe that the essence of courage is to force neighboring peoples to abandon their territory and to ensure that no one dare to establish himself in the vicinity. At that same time, they think that in this way they are more secure. Think about it. I'm just trying to get people to see some connections here in the thinking and the attitude and the behavior of people or a people. They believe that the essence of courage is to force neighboring peoples to abandon their territory and to ensure that no one dare to establish himself in the vicinity. Not to establish yourself. Stability. Deindustrialization. Outsourcing. By having to fear, by not having to fear, by not having to fear any sudden invasions, robbery committed beyond the boundaries of the city, civilization, citizens being civil, is nothing shameful. Being uncivil is nothing shameful when it comes to robbery. It serves, they say, to keep the young people, the younger generation, the influence and the attitude and the behavior of a people when it comes to culture hegemony, their humanity, their thinking, their attitude, to keep the young people busy and to diminish idleness. You think on that. You just heard from one of the best. What is written from one of the best in this work. Chinka Anta Diop. You can tell the psychology of one's mentality by what he or she produces. You can best diagnose anyone based upon the circumstances of the conditions. Always it is what it is. You can best diagnose anyone by the conditions of the circumstances of which they came out of.